I can sense maybe a new trend coming where the next kind of social addiction is finding people's accounts on platforms like Patreon and Circle and Mighty, where people are paying for a subscription to use that platform in order to easily and effectively record their diary, essentially, right? They get to record a whole bunch of content, and if it's for the masses, I think it's quite appealing to have this platform where, yeah, you pay as a form of diary, but it does help you sort yourself out with lights and sound, and gives you all the tips and recommendations of what to do, what practices to make. Something that's going to create a decent quality product, something that people want to engage with. It doesn't need to be top shelf production value. No one's got the budget to do that for themselves yet. The process should be painless and cheap, or if not free, and instant to start. These are the key things. So if people are willing to pay for a subscription like Mighty, for example, which I'm considering, and use that as a place to store and share and put behind a paywall all of my content, I'll be able to categorize them and separate it into different areas that I cover. I cover Hyatt Talks, I cover resource, I cover bachata tutoring, I cover lots of things. And they're all aspects of me, and they're all kind of bubbling out at once. And I want to document them all, and the best way I've found to do so is just to record these voice notes. Now, what if that's not engaging enough, especially in today's screen heavy world? So the sooner I start recording videos of myself talking, at least get used to talking to the lens, I can very easily swap this out for a front-facing camera instead, and really connect visually. And I'm picturing that now. I'm staring into the lens, but I'm staring not into your eyes, because you never get to see this. There's no visual recording of this. This is audio. So what if the platforms really encourage you to create video content very easily? And the appealing thing is that it gets you into a very healthy practice of making video diary entries, which can also be sold, not individually, but as an overall piece of content, or a project. It's behind a paywall, so that fans can come find you through seeing clips of you on social media. So the social media won't be the first place to publish the content that is so personal and meaningful and scary to broadcast. That content, all of the original stuff, gets published first on these platforms, these paywall subscription-based platforms, where you create your family and your community and your user base, your viewer base, and you connect there. And then what's on the broader social medias that everyone's hooked on these days, this, transitioning, riding the wave of trend platform like TikTok and Instagram, and trying to be Facebook and Twitter, Reddit, the subreddits, Discord, all of these places, they're all fantastic. It's just you've got to play their game. You've got to play into their algorithms. You've got to work within their constraints, because they're always working on the algorithms, giving everyone just what they want and pumping everyone full of the happy hormones inside their bloody brains. Right? It's all caught up in that rush. And that can absolutely be paralyzing and crippling, and I'm hugely averse to that. I don't want to go into that space. I cringe. I can't think of anything more scary and more stressful. So then I don't create content and I don't express myself. Though I've started, but I haven't published, right? Because there are obviously various walls of resistance that you come up against inside yourself. So I've gotten to the stage right now where I have been consistently and pretty effectively recording voice notes that have auto, transcription. And it's even using smart AI to go through that and summarize things and write things concisely and create bullet points and talking notes and tags and all that smart stuff. I love nerding out on that technical stuff as well because it helps my workflow. If I learn effective ways to organize myself and ultimately get myself out there as quickly and easily and effectively, hopefully, as possible, then I'm going to choose that. And I'm fascinated with learning these tools and these processes. And along the way, I'm also thinking, oh, this is also another game changer in my mind. If I think, oh, the implications of this making a radical change here, and then that affects that, and that creates a movement, and then that creates a trend, and then that can be leveraged by, my mind's working all the time like that. And constantly when my mind is just working on overtime, piecing together this ethereal puzzle in my psyche, it's exhausting. And I will absolutely lose a lot of it just into the ether. The memory and the insight might flutter back and I might catch it and document it. But really, it's good for me to, even if I don't refer back to these recordings myself, other people can take advantage of them for the first time, maybe the only time, maybe repeated, who knows. But if I can be helpful to other people's journeys who feel like they have a great deal of empathy and connection and relate to what I'm going through, if they're following my footsteps and, hey, in the future, I'm counting on it. If I'm making moves and I'm making things happen for myself, and as I'm doing it in real time, I'm documenting it and I'm breaking down what I think is the most effective way to communicate that, and I do that, man, that's going to help a lot of people, hopefully. Which would be great. The thing I've got to remind myself is if I start thinking too much about what other people want, then I'm falling into the old restriction, the old constraints of fear and judgment and ego and whatever. And I want to radically switch things up to move away from that and into a space of just openness, of abundance, of integrity, of love and connection, of understanding, of patience, of stillness. I want to move comprehensively into that space with everything that I do, because that's a huge part of my journey right now. I can't deny that. So it permeates everything, and I want to do everything at once. I can't bloody help it. I want to do everything at once. It's so stressful. Anyway, coming back to my starting point about even if you pay for a subscription to a service like Mighty and use that platform to document and publish various aspects of your experience, if you want to do that and people catch on to that, it can create the latest trend. And so the traction can be now, instead of only relying on what the algorithms pick up on the main social medias, there can be a growing subculture, just like the culture of subreddit has grown and expanded so greatly. It's just that. I'm talking about that. I'm talking about all these individuals who have their own kinks and quirks and desire to follow whatever they want to follow and connect with whoever they want to connect. And so they find these people and then they share their stories on the subreddit, right? But it comes from this seeking of, oh, like that person's interesting. I wonder what they're getting up to. And it's this inherent curiosity that we have on the social side of it. We're always reaching out. We're forever expanding our horizons. We're seeking kinfolk, and we're seeking ourselves ultimately. And I think the people who have been able to overcome their inhibitions and push through all of those difficult boundaries in order for them to project themselves out there as honestly and as bravely as they can. The ones who manage to do that, I think that has a lot of gravity and a lot of attraction to it. So in whatever space, whatever category, whatever style and flavor that you present, that you are, that people are attracted to or not attracted to, that creates a following, that creates a kinship, that creates a movement. And if the talking points are really meaningful, then it can be transformative and it can cause multiple revolutions across the board. I think it's high levels of personalized engagement, and I think that's required. Everything's too throttled down to the highest trending things, which is always just going to be crude and insubstantial. It's going to be of sex and ego and power, get rich quick, get fit quick, get popular, get known, become successful. All this ego shit, it's all catered towards tuning that and promoting this social media trend that's happening right now. And I think there has been a subculture that's always been seeking all of these roots that we plant. We're always seeking underground to try and find the other roots that we connect with and share with. And so if we focus our attentions towards enriching that and nourishing that, and then allowing a platform for all of those roots to now start sprouting their own seeds and their own trees, us individuals, we can do that for ourselves. I think it requires the extraordinarily brave and intuitive and switched on people to just put themselves out there. And I think it can absolutely be win-win. It can be astronomically positive on multiple fronts. It's worth exploring. And if I have to lead by example, so be it. Or rather, and I get to lead by example, so yay! I'm not scared.